Hey guys, how you doing? It's 4:30 in the morning, and I had a friend who posted a question on Facebook. Do you go to church? And there was some banter that was shared, and I shared a few things, and it really got me thinking. And I want to share this with you guys. And guys, please understand that when I give something from my heart or I feel like it's from the Lord, doesn't make anybody wrong or anybody right. It makes us think, makes us ask questions. Some of the greatest school teachers I ever had, and I chat with some of them on Facebook, um, they taught us to think. They taught us where to find answers, how to search for them, not just to memorize stuff. So in any event, what this video is about is, do you go to church? And if not, why? And if you do, why? It's about asking yourself that question with God. And I want to start out with a verse that I think is very key. And the Bible to me it has all the answers. It has all of them. Sometimes we don't understand them, but it has all the answers. Hebrews 10:25. Let us not give up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. And I would believe it says day in big letters, that that's the day that Jesus is going to return. So as we see that day approaching, it says, don't be in a habit of not gathering together. And I got saved when I was 30 years old. I didn't go to church hardly ever as a kid. Wasn't religious. Still am not religious. But I do have faith, and I believe deeply in walking with God. And what I thought about is this, is there are a lot of messed up churches. I mean, messed up. And there are some that are better than others for whatever purpose that you or your family needs. My wife and I have been to different churches. Her dad taught in a certain type of church. And if it served the needs of those people, great. But we can't get caught up in a thing of, oh my gosh, well, they do this and they do that, and this is not, you do need to go to a Bible believing church, a church that preaches that Jesus is the only way to salvation. Those are facts. And even in people finding their time to find out, I was 30 when I got saved. Don't be in such a closed mindset. But let's ask ourselves a couple of questions. Jesus went into the temple courts when the Pharisees and Sadducees were running a show. And as a child, when his parents found him, they said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm about my father's business. He was about his father's business in the temple full of pious religious, I almost said idiots, but pious religious people. Then later he went into the temple courts and turned over the tables and made the temple right. He got it right and said, what you're doing here is wrong, showing value to the temple, showing that it was an important place and that it mattered to him. The other thing that I thought about was, if you think about the 12 disciples, they're a gathering, they're a family. The word church, ecclesia, I believe in Greek, I'm not a big scholar, but it means to gather, the gathering. So you could have church in your home with your family. You can have church at the softball field. I can have church at the racetrack, Walmart. It's the gathering of people who are believers, is what I believe that intended word is. However, when you look at the 12 disciples or the people who followed Jesus, what if one of them said, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm not hanging out with these dudes. That guy Judas, I know he's dirty. Something's wrong. He's stealing money. Or that, Thomas guy's always doubting all the time. What's the deal with him? And, Peter flies off the handle, and, they could have picked each other apart. But all of them would have missed time with Jesus. When Jesus went to the temple courts as a child and spoke, the greatest feet that ever walked the earth, that spoke about God the Father, had some guy said, man, I'm not going to that temple. You know how those Sadducees and Pharisees are. They would have missed him. They would have missed him. And the other point is that I think when you think of the law of averages or numbers, for those of you who are rational people, if there's 10 people at church and 5 of them are really jacked up and messed up and 5 are on target as much as we can be as humans, let's say the church is 50% got it together. Well, when you go, you raise the percentage rate, or you should. I hope I do. But think about that. And you're not going to find perfection. And if you don't believe in tithing, I'm going to tell you, don't tithe until God tells you that that's the thing you should do. Don't worry about that. God's not going to sweat your money. He doesn't need it. He's got all the wealth in the entire universe. But if he calls your heart to give, then be a cheerful giver. Get that part out of your head. Don't worry about that. The church will survive without your $100. And really go with the intention of just seeking God. And you may have a moment where somebody there needs you more than you need them, or you need the church that day. It may surprise you. So I've already gone over 6 minutes. Some people aren't going to watch us more than 30 seconds. If you got to the end, God bless you. I hope that something in this inspires you just to challenge and question yourself. And I say it all out of love, and he is the king. He is the king. All right.